Welcome back to Tarot Tuesday. Today we're going to talk all about love as we cover cups. So for today, I'm actually using a different deck than the Rider-Waite artwork that we've seen before. This is the Sun and Moon Tarot that I'm going to be using today. The reason I chose this deck as the one to feature for the suit of cups is because anytime somebody comes to me for a reading and they choose this deck, I know we're going to talk about relationships. I know we're going to talk about love because the artwork on this deck, it's just about love. Cups itself, as I've already implied, it's associated with the sign of water, which can be associated with the astrological signs. So your Cancers, your Scorpios, your Pisces. The water sign, the cup sign are very much about our emotions, very much about our feelings, the hidden aspects of ourselves. Tied in with our emotional selves is our intuition. So when you see a lot of cups within a reading, you will also see that intuitive themes come out of these readings as well. Just like every other suit that we've talked about, there is a journey within the cup suit itself. So when you start with your Ace of Cups, this can mean a new relationship, a new love, a new romance, new aspects of your intuition coming to the forefront. But then you got to learn how to navigate it. So it's the start of something new. As you go through the journey, something new, you're going to have your ups, your downs. You've got the two, it's balanced. It represents love, it represents partnership. So you start with that. You work into the three where you have your friendships, you have your support systems. You work your way through it till you become the king. And in this case, what's really interesting is just like every other suit, you're going to have the page, the knight, the queen, the king. You'll see here in the Sun and Moon Tarot, they've actually switched the page to be the princess. So you've got a balance of two women, two men. So you got the princess, the prince, the queen, and the king. In the case of this suit, where we're talking about relationships, typically the king represents, the end of your journey. But here, the queen is equally as much the end of your journey. She represents the more feminine aspect of our feelings and emotions. She's been through a lot, but she's learned how to navigate it, just like our king has been through a lot and learned how to navigate it. So really our journey ends with the two of them as a pair. That said, as you go through this, it's all about exploring different aspects of ourselves. And the thing that's really cool about the Sun and Moon Tarot, which you'll see, is that the top of the cards give you a general theme. So for somebody who doesn't want to try to figure out the symbols, these little words at the top of the card can help you in your reading. If you saw a lot of cups within a reading, you can expect that reading is going to have a lot of emotional themes. You may be speaking a lot more about interpersonal relationships between people. This, more than any other suit, is one where if you're going to see any of those court cards show up, the king, the queen, the knight, the page, any of those, it typically will represent an actual person, maybe a love interest that's coming into your life. Additionally, if you see these cards in pair with any of the major arcana that feature an individual, the individual within the major arcana may represent that person. They may represent that love interest, and these cards are going to give you more information about that and around that. So pay attention to the actual people that you see in the cards that will help inform you more what the energy of these cards are, what they're bringing into the reading. Just like any other suit, if you have any of these cards that are upside down and you're someone who reads reversals, typically the meaning is the reverse of what it would normally mean. So if you have the Two of Cups and it's right side up, it's that love, that partnership, that getting along, that finding that happiness, that pairing. If it's reversed, it's losing that. It's realizing that that perfect relationship you thought you had, maybe it's not that perfect. Maybe there's a separation, there's a split. I personally don't read reversals. Why? Because if you put that much attention and intention into the cards, you're missing the nuance of what actually is happening in the situation. You're not listening to your intuition as much as you're trying to decipher the cards themselves. So that's why I don't read reversals. Additionally, these cards, the artwork is designed to appear one way. When we shuffle, things get mixed up. They appear upside down. Just flip it over. The card is the card. That's my personal opinion. Do what you're going to do. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you want to have the clarity and the understanding of what the symbols and the story of this is as that memory bank, as that experience that you can pull from as you're doing your reading. So when you get a lot of cups, you don't have to go, oh, cups mean this. You can go, oh, there's a cup that's showing up, and feel into that emotion that's coming through from your sitter of what they need to know in that reading in that day. So I hope that's been helpful to you. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next week.